Unstoppable spirits are welcome. It's amazing how individuals who previously doubted your ability to achieve become fascinated by everything you do. They are fascinated, not just curious. They want to know how you changed what they thought to be true. Let's face it, they've become hooked, and you've gone from being ignored to being the center of their tale. People are following you because your accomplishments surpass their expectations. Not only are they seeking for ideas, they want to know your secret. How to transform uncertainty into inspiration, obstacles into opportunity, and silence into audible successes in ways that others cannot foresee. You have not only survived, but flourished. Today, we'll explore further into this energy. The fire inside you is the source of your distinctive power and personality. Because, let's be honest, people don't fall in love with you because of who you are. People fall in love because you possess all of the traits they want. And that, my friends, is the kind of power they cannot deny. If you're new to our channel, we strongly invite you to subscribe and become a part of our great community. You will be part of a community that shares inspirational and encouraging thoughts. Let's talk about what makes you invincible. Your journey is just starting. Please secure your seatbelt. Conventional knowledge has the capacity to undermine the foundations on which others are constructed. Many individuals stay to a certain path because they are fearful of deviating from it or upsetting the status quo. However, you fearlessly confront them by utterly disregarding tried and true success strategies. You have constructed a universe that others find impossible to comprehend. Your climb, characterized by unyielding independence, was both inspiring and harmful. People who previously dismissed deviation are now interested by it, but not in a favorable manner. However, your success exposes flaws in their own appraisals. They work relentlessly, led by techniques that produce results. However, if you do not follow through, their rigorous pledges will be rendered useless. There will be a lot of fear behind their grumbling and suspicious eyes in the next 48 hours. You will get affluent. Text 888 to affirm that what you're going to learn today will transform your life. You have shown that their cherished ideas are nothing more than control fantasies. Instead of just asking how you achieved it, they question why they are still caught and unable to get the guts to join. They are more interested with your accomplishments, adaptability, and individuality, which contrasts dramatically with the constraints of their selected categories. When someone does something that others believe is impossible, they are usually interested and concerned. While you continue on without incident, others are bombarded with an excessive amount of information, uncertainty, or the need for immediate action. The achievements you create pique their interest, not because they like you, but because they believe it impossible that you could achieve such feats without pushing yourself. Of course, everything was not as straightforward as it seemed. The endeavor involved many hours of persistence, passion, and drive. However, all they see is the brightness of your accomplishments, which obscures their own challenges. They have been trained to think that success requires broad acknowledgement and continuous effort, which causes them to question everything. Their longing for acceptance is inhibited by your serenity and perseverance, and the stark contrast makes them uncomfortable when they achieve what they believed was impossible. They must accept the harsh reality that their limits are self-imposed and do not exist at all. What disturbs them the most is that you work quietly and determinedly, without seeking praise or publicizing each step, instead allowing the consequences of your efforts to speak for themselves. Now that their intricate projects and unmet aspirations have been revealed, they can't help but question whether they should set even loftier goals for themselves. This unexpected realization that they prefer ambiguity over boldness allows people to continue to stare at you, not in awe. Your actions reflect the options they have chosen not to explore. Enter 777. If you are ready to accept and embrace the amazing changes God is bringing about in your life, you cannot ignore this thinking. When skepticism is dismissed, it strangely becomes an obsession. They overlooked your potential because they assumed you'd always be in the background. Easy to overlook and harder to overcome. However, you have not just invalidated their assumptions. You have outperformed everyone and beyond their expectations. The fact that you did it without their permission is as frightening as your success. Each of your successes seems to be a subtle criticism or reminder of how badly they miscalculate, shattering the illusion that their judgment is any good. When their carefully built narrative of who you are and what you are capable of falls short, they begin to question the precision with which they judge others. It eats away at them to know that their lack of faith in you stems from their own anxieties, not yours. If you feel that love and faith can conquer any obstacle, subscribe to the channel and write, Amen. They couldn't see your potential clearly because they were preoccupied with their own problems, and your progress is pushing them to see faults in their judgment. They study every step of your journey in an unsuccessful effort to discover what they are missing, rather than enjoy it, as if understanding this would help them rebuild their damaged egos. However, the reality they want to suppress is evident. They are afraid that someone they do not care about would do something they would never dare to do. Every success you achieve serves as a stark reminder of their restricted viewpoint and inability to see the unique. They don't only concentrate on your accomplishments. They're afraid that your victory will throw a shadow on their own lack of vision. They have established themselves as arbiters of success, demanding that no one can flourish unless they agree. They formed hierarchies, set limitations, and positioned themselves as the primary gatekeepers. Instead of trying to enter via their highly guarded gates, you created your own road that was absolutely out of their reach. This act of revolt called into question their seeming power as they saw you flourish against their traditions. They had to admit that their influence was never as widespread as they had imagined. For years, they had incorrectly assumed that their approval was the foundation of success, and that anybody who tried to challenge it would almost certainly fail. However, your successes have beyond their expectations, breaking their sense of control. They are distrustful not just of your achievements, but also of the story's failure. They've been together for a long time. They are assessing your progress, seeking for defects in your route, and attempting to make sense of a world in which their perspective is useless. If you believe in divine timing and are certain that everything is going as intended, type 999 in the comments area. They're furious not just because of your success, but also because you did it with total independence. You've never required their help. As a result, you have never asked for it. They can't understand that their rules are ineffective against anybody who dares to break them. Their broken egos and empty systems are mirrored in your ambition to achieve success on your own terms. Your presence calls into question the authority they have spent their whole lives asserting, even if they would never acknowledge it. And they will accept the truth with a calm wrath. Discover what it's like to be selected. You are not alone on this path. You are the planet's light source. A city cannot remain concealed on a hilltop. Matthew 514. Your life shines brilliantly, revealing knowledge that others have suppressed. Others, like that city, have built fragile identities based on public approval. You've been steadfast, unflappable, and self-devoted. Your conviction exposes the hazards that others avoid pursuing any goals. They forsake. Your life seems to them like a mirror, reflecting the paths they are afraid to take. They can't stop gazing since your audacity has disturbed their peace of mind. In fact, your presence contradicts their self-created identity. Their connection stems from their inability to escape a personal reckoning after seeing you, not for maturation. They are forced to evaluate if the life they have is what they really want. Your candor has instilled in them a metamorphosis that they will never completely comprehend, but will always feel, even if they do not express it loudly. If you find peace in this message, please click the like button. Please subscribe to our channel and share it with others. Also, remember to ring the bell symbol to get further instructions. Comfort zones represent predictability, a regulated atmosphere in which all aspects match the norms. They employ tight frameworks because they think they can classify people and plan for results. Then you seem fully free, behaving in ways that others cannot understand. Every effort to define you fails, and their assumptions are tested by your following actions. Your failure to adapt or be understood concerns them, not because they dislike you, but because it calls into question their feeling of power. Control is the basis of their world. They manage. People use tales to forecast outcomes. However, your goal goes beyond their authority. Your choices are not based on their expectations, nor is your conduct driven by a desire for approval. If you don't depend on their approval, you become something beyond of their control. The absence of rationale or commitment to their game challenges them to make sense of a dynamic they've never seen before. They are worried about the ramifications of your usual conduct for both you and them, in sharp contrast to the elaborate structures that they use. You demonstrated that freedom existed outside of their system. Instead of being chaotic, your distancing shows a calm rejection of their ability to behave outside of their expectations. They need to untie you, not just let you to restore control. They are frightened that they will not be able to govern everyone and foresee every consequence. But the more they try, the more tough it becomes. This understanding drives them to concentrate on you and seek answers that will never materialize. They've seen you handle circumstances that would crush most people. They feel that your breaking moment occurred when you encountered problems and the weight of misfortune fell on you. Some people even like the thought of waiting for your death as if it were inevitable. However, you accomplished an unexpected achievement. Rather than give up, you continued. Every time you were pushed to the verge of the abyss, you emerged stronger, more determined, more steadfast. Your capacity to recover was not only outstanding, it called into question their whole idea of how to attain success. They comprehend a world that penalizes individuals who deviate from the norm, promotes consistency, and rewards predictability. However, you did not depend on what was already accessible. You transformed potential into actuality. Others would not have dared to do what you did. Others were disturbed by your ability to see opportunities when others could not. Others are perplexed as to how you can supply so much worth while others devote their efforts on arrangements that yield nothing. Every move you take demonstrates how their addiction to imitation leads them to pause and fall one step behind. They are drawn to your way and want to know how you do what appears impossible to them. People are more mystified by your originality and willingness to take chances than by your strategies. Your achievement serves as an ongoing reminder of what others lack. Not money or education, but the ability to think independently and stand out from the crowd. Their attention is not motivated by adulation, but by the constant understanding that they will never be able to recreate what you have accomplished. If this message inspired you, please like it and write an amen in the comments section below. Even if they are unable to express it, they realize that they will never accomplish your goal and will constantly face this fact. They keep a close watch on you. I am certain that the hardships ahead will bring you to your knees. They think that misfortune will crush and break your spirit. To their amazement, you refuse to let suffering dictate your destiny. Instead, you utilized each setback as a springboard, transforming hardship into the cornerstone of your power. While some were immobilized by loss, you persisted and turned setbacks into chances for growth. They were captivated by your tenacity as you reframed suffering in general. You didn't make excuses or indulge in self-pity. You did not take life's hardships as an excuse to quit up. Instead, you faced them with unyielding commitment, turning the obstacles they believed would kill you into chances for personal development. This transformation amazes them since they have never studied this language before. They are trapped in cycles of fear and regret as a consequence of their own bad experiences. Witnessing others overcome similar challenges motivates them to address their own inertia. How is it possible to employ the same limitations that previously hampered someone to get stronger? Your endurance not only shows your strength, but it also acts as a stark reminder of your vulnerabilities. In truth, they don't understand how to use adversity to produce something good. Your capacity to become stronger after each setback reveals potential that others want but cannot fully appreciate. They are drawn to the marvel of your transition rather than your accomplishments. They still don't grasp how to convert adversity into opportunity and failure into prosperity. And this is the primary reason people continue to follow you. You've guided them down a route they wouldn't have dared to go by revealing the shackles of their own anxieties and shining light on their abilities. Your accomplishments surpass conventional success. Those who question you seem to provide a challenge. Not only have you accomplished things that others would never have believed possible, but you have done so despite their attempts to prevent you from succeeding. They assumed that their opposition would be enough to stop you, so they attempted to defame you, hinder your progress, and undercut all you did. But now you're here, far beyond their expectations. You confront them with a fact they would like to avoid. They have no power over your destiny. Every attempt they've taken to undermine you has aided your development, resulting in further triumphs, and rendered their opponents ineffectual. They know this deep within, and it upsets them. Your triumphs demonstrate not just your power, but also their incapacity to prevent you from reaching your objectives. They believe you should be unable to proceed any farther. They don't comprehend how someone they think is insignificant might not only survive, but flourish in the face of obstacles meant to ensure failure. They are unfamiliar with the concept of resilience, and witnessing you rise continually strikes them as odd. They are forced to confront a harsh truth. The mechanisms on which they depend are not as robust as they believe. Their unwillingness to confront risk and uncertainty is also a weakness. What concerns me the most is not your achievements, but how you achieve them. They won't realize how rapidly you can adapt, develop, and improve until you seek their approval. Respond to their criticism or demand their approval. They were trained to avoid failure and risk, but you tackled both and came out stronger as a consequence. Subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to ensure you don't miss any future motivating messages. This fundamental contradiction calls into question the foundation of their worldview, making them uneasy. They scrutinize your every action, hoping to discover what makes you unstoppable. However, the answer lies inside their deepest fear. Resilience comes from addressing obstacles rather than avoiding them. People are more intrigued by this insight than any of your accomplishments. You have served as a reminder that people choose their own boundaries and that their failure to progress stems from their reluctance to tackle the system's flaws rather than the system itself. Even if they won't admit it, they are always attempting to discover out what makes you unstoppable. They will never accept it, no matter how strong you get. God's wonders shine brightly and strongly on earth, and others gain from your generosity and spirit. Enjoy the benefits of following God's light that you get. Much will also depend on luck. 12:48. Your accomplishments stand out like a light in the darkness, illuminating what others choose to overlook. Every step you take challenges them to face the dangers they have avoided and the ambitions they have given up, while others seek safety and assurance. You have welcomed uncertainty, knowing that your faith and tenacity will carry you through to triumph. Not only does he inspire others, but he also terrifies them by displaying power that they would never dare to show. Instead of confronting their own inadequacies, they aim their rage elsewhere, causing their anger to obscure their regrets. It's simpler to point fingers at your accomplishments than to acknowledge that their own doubt is holding them back. While your boldness sets you apart, your ability to act, grow, and prosper serves as a live reminder of everything they may become, but they are hesitant to go because you are the embodiment of the deep-rooted ambitions they have but are frightened to follow. They are more concerned with their personal image and your success than you are. They wish they could avoid it, but they must deal with it every day. They are captivated by fashion trends and mimicking what others do, assuming that this will lead to success. At the same time, you are subtly creating something entirely unique, a thought so out of the ordinary that it gains value. They could not have predicted. You did not attempt to fit into pre-made molds or link to current frameworks. Instead, you began from scratch, creating an empty area into a piece of art that defied the limits of possible. They are upset by your intelligence and direct comparison. Their constant efforts to emulate others' successes have ended in mediocrity. While your original work demonstrated their lack of originality, they were imprisoned for attempting to attain success via stolen ideas. Your success is a continual reminder of their own inadequacies. The fact that you did it without their permission, fulfilling their expectations, or getting their approval is more important than what you did. Their stagnation is obviously emphasized by your achievement, which acts as a necessary contrast, prompting them to reconsider their own judgments. They were spending their time attempting to stop you while you were constructing something unstoppable. This contrast hurts because it informs them that their efforts to harm you will only make you stronger. Their fixation with you derives from the fact that everything you do reminds them of a conflict they've already lost, not from devotion, no matter how much they try to deny it. Your drive exposes their desperation, and each victory you gain confirms a fact they will always have to confront. They couldn't stop you, and now they have to embrace the fact that they never will. Subscribing to this channel, like and sharing the video will allow you to join our community and get these rewards. Have faith, and God will reward you in a culture where everyone wants to be heard. Your choice to keep quiet means a great deal. They love noise, discussion, gossip, and endless excuses. However, when they disagree, they get upset. They don't understand how you can communicate so much without saying anything, and your calmness astounds them. They must tolerate the discomfort of unanswered questions, as each silence, response, and intentional pause forces them to reconsider their own preconceptions. What you conceal upsets them more than what you say. They anticipate arguments, defenses, or efforts to justify your actions, but you provide none. This unresponsiveness disarms them and takes away their capacity to provoke or persuade. Your silence heightens their fear. Their incapacity to erode your confidence is evidenced by the fact that after each unanswered criticism or disregarded provocation, they are left with just their own worries. Your calm demeanor enables others to assume several assumptions, analyze every action, and evaluate their own judgments. They hunt for flaws in your peace, but the closer they search, the less they find. They do not understand that your quiet is not passive, but intentional. It drastically alters the plot and places you in power without saying anything. They are perplexed when they are trapped in the contradiction of attempting to understand someone who isn't playing their game. Their addiction becomes stronger as your silence causes them to doubt everything they see as chaotic, sanctioned, and controlled. It exposes a clarity and force that they could never accomplish by retreating within. You've motivated others to seek unreachable solutions, and while others raise a fuss, you quietly create, adapt, and thrive, demonstrating that genuine power comes from acting with purpose. Instead, yell loudest. Others get bewildered in the midst of the turmoil, but they overestimate your resilience when they expect you to fail. They can't get away from you now, not because they respect you, but because your path reveals the boundaries they've set for themselves. Their own fears and unrealized dreams are clearly reflected in your strength, unwavering sincerity, and courageous claim in a society that constantly attempts to hold people back. They understand in their hearts that their anxiety is not gratitude, but they refuse to admit it. It arises from fear. Fear that your bravery represents the kind of life that others want to live. And the higher you get, the more captivated people become. Unable to break free from a narrative that stresses everything they can achieve. The worst part is that they've already wasted the opportunity to concentrate on your success. They gave up on their narrative. No matter how much importance they place on your development, they can't alter what you've made. They cannot prevent you from constructing or revising the tale you have created for yourself. This is the purest kind of victory. If these words have really had an effect, you realize that this is only the beginning. Courage determines your destiny, your problem-solving abilities, and how you set yourself apart from others. This letter marks the start of a journey full of possibilities. Stay tuned for more. Together, we'll discover deeper insights and the potential to propel you ahead. It is time to fully embrace the destiny of greatness that has always been yours. Allow us to grow and advance one step at a time. Continue to develop and become strong. If you like the video, please share it with others. Tell someone who you believe should hear it. Subscribe to this channel and enable notifications so you don't miss any future heavenly messages. Let us continue to spread hope, love, and spiritual advice. See you in a future video. Thank you.